got your blocks, so go ahead and grab them. You may not even need them. I do, just because my back isn't very bendy. We're going to create some new patterns, some strength, flexibility, and a new rhythm. Let's see how we go. We're going to start kneeling, so get yourselves comfortable. If you want to put your block underneath the butt, you're welcome to, for a more passive rock pose. And then allow the hands to come to the thighs, taking a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. As usual, tuning into our bodies. One more time. Clearing out any stale air and energy. And then allowing our bodies to assume their natural rhythm of breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Getting a sense of the mood of the body, any areas of lightness or tension, comfort or discomfort, as we run through a gentle body scan from head to toe. Allowing the muscles in our faces and our shoulders to soften. Notice in the air as it comes in and fills the lungs. Feeling of our shins and our feet against the mat underneath us. Bringing our awareness to the space around us. The sounds, the smells, and the temperature. And perhaps setting an intention for today's practice. Something you're hoping to achieve today or to get out of the session. Bringing our awareness back to the space around us. We're going to curl into child's pose, reaching our hands long on the mat. Keeping our hands firmly planted or lifting up on the fingertips and keeping the head this time off the mat, swaying side to side, slowly starting to become aware of the sensations in our body. Gazing forward, and we'll walk our hands around to the right side of the mat. Up on the fingertips as wide as we can, taking a deep breath in, and then lowering ourselves down, keeping our head and our arms off the ground, allowing them to suspend as we create space in the side body, breathing deeply. Expanding the rib cage laterally, allowing the head to hang naturally wherever it feels most comfortable. Taking a deep breath, gazing forward again. And then go ahead and walk the hands all the way over to the left. Deep breath in, elongating the spine, and then allowing the body to sink a little bit deeper. Noticing the side body. Starting to open up as we breathe deeply. Inhaling, we gaze up, and then walk the hands all the way back forward. Deep breath here. And then on the next inhale, we'll draw ourselves up into all fours. Nice. Hands are underneath the shoulders. Go ahead and shift the weight left to right to start. Just a gentle movement. This doesn't have to be big. You're welcome to start adding the hips in, maybe even the head looking back towards the feet. Just checking in with the hips and the lower back. Back to neutral. We're going to rotate our hands so that the fingers are pointing the toes with a gentle bend of the elbow. Good. And then shift forward and back. Again, this may be just a small movement. That's all right. Warming up the forearms and the wrists before we get into our Vinyasa. Back to neutral, keeping the fingers the way they are, pressing the elbows forward. Neutral spine, so it's not sagging and it's not rounded. Neutral. I'm going to press the elbows away. I'm going to try to lift the fingers off the mat. I know. You may need to press forward slightly. Oh. Now go ahead and lift the heel of the palm off the mat, pressing the elbows forward. Just. Small micro movements here to start today. Good. Pressing forward again, and then let's rotate the hands off. Index finger pointing forward. Yay for that. I will do a traditional cat-cow. So on the inhale, starting with the tailbone, we breathe deeply, looking up. And on the exhale, curling the toes under the shins, leading with the tailbone, rounding out, looking back towards the feet. Continue these two poses, flowing in the inhale, drawing the abdomen long. And on the exhale, curling the toes, rounding out, and looking back towards the feet. We'll do 3 more. Purposeful motion. Connecting the breath with our movement. Really check in with the sensations in our body. Floating our way back to neutral. Planting the feet. On the inhale, we're going to lift our right arm off the mat. Gentle rotation. Oh, I'm tight here. And a gentle pulse of the arm backwards, drawing the shoulder blade back towards the spine, finding a neutral position for the neck, whatever feels comfortable. Pulsing. Now inhale, hold, reaching a bit farther, reaching the hand up. Pressing away from the earth with the left hand. Good. Go ahead on the next exhale and round through the left arm. Threading the needle, bringing our head down to the mat as possible. Option to reach the left arm long or to keep it underneath the shoulder for support. However you feel is most comfortable for you. Breathing into the right shoulder blade, upper back and neck. Keeping the tailbone and the sit bones reaching up towards the sky. Gentle traction and rotation to the spine. One more breath. Good. And bringing the hand under the shoulder. Inhale, we reach all the way back up. One more time. deep breaths in. And on the exhale, we're going to round the right arm behind our back. And then square the shoulders, coming all the way back, forward facing, half bind. Once again, checking in with the shoulder, the neck, neutral spine and neck. Now wiggle the fingers, wiggle, 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 as fast as you can. Wiggle the fingers behind the back, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Lifting again. And bring the right hand back down. Good. Taking a deep breath in between, maybe shifting left to right. And on the next inhale, we lift the left arm off the mat, reaching it all the way up as high as we can, pressing the earth away with the right hand. And then start your pulse, gently bringing the left shoulder blade in towards the spine. Gentle rotation. And then go ahead and hold here for a count of 3 breaths. On the next exhale, we thread the needle, bringing the left arm all the way under the right arm, bringing the head down to the mat as possible, and then option to extend the right arm long on the mat, keeping the sit bones high. The hips are lifted and elevated. This time reaching and breathing into the left shoulder. Bringing the right hand under the shoulder. Now on the next inhale, we bring the left arm all the way back over us, top of us. And then go ahead and wrap it around the back. Lowering the shoulders, squaring them to the back, to the mat, neutral spine. And then wiggle the fingers, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Go ahead and bring the left hand all the way back down to the mat. And we'll circle around. Circling, checking in with the hips, the lower back, the shoulders and the neck. Shifting our weight over each ankle and then the wrists, as big or as little circles as suits you. Adding in some lateral flexion as possible. And then go ahead and shift directions. One more circle. And then we meet back in neutral. Repositioning as needed, bringing the hands under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and we'll curl the toes under. I'm going to lift the knees off the mat slightly so they're hovering just slightly. Holding here, keeping the knees almost in line with the ankles, so they're lifted about an inch or so. Now go ahead and press up into down dog. Feel free to pedal or find stillness in your first down dog. Maybe exploring the sensations in the back of the legs. Pressing the heels towards the mat, really gazing forward. We're going to walk the feet very slowly in towards our hands. You may need to come up on your fingertips. Keeping the feet
about 2 inches apart. And now we may want to grab our blocks and bring them out front. So I need them significantly. I may need to bring them up. We're going to come up to a flat back. So many of you may be able to do that on your fingertips. You may be able to do it on your hands flat. I cannot. We really want to elongate the spine here. You may feel a tendency for the body to press back in the heels. We want to press into the toes. Breathing deeply, elongating the spine from tailbone to crown of the head. Pressing our hands, the fingertips or palms into the mat. And again, pressing the weight into our toes, not the heels. Check it in with the back of the legs. Lifting the toes off the ground, spreading them as wide as possible. And then plant them back down, noticing the shifting of the weight into the feet, front of the feet. Good. On the inhale, we're going to lower, bend the knees. On the exhale, we're going to press back up. Pressing into the toes. Inhale, we lower. Exhale, pressing back into the toes. Repeat this, connecting your breath with your movement. Squeezing the belly button towards the spine. Maintaining a flat back throughout the motion. Gripping the toes into the mat. Really feeling the toes grip. One. Good. Now on the inhale, we're going to walk the blocks over to the side of the mat, all the way to the side. There we go. Keeping the hips forward facing. We're opening up the side body, breathing it long, checking in so that that left hip is not rolling over to the right side of the mat. Pressing the left hip back, trying to keep that left leg straight. Notice where your feet are gripping into the mat. Breathing the left side long. Inhale, walk the blocks back to center. Elongate the spine, pressing the ground away, flat back. One more breath, reset. Good, and on the next inhale, we'll walk the blocks to the left side of the mat. Once again, pressing the right hip back so that the hips are square to the mat. Oh, we're creating a little bit of space in the side body as well as down the right side of the leg. Pressing into the toes. Notice where your body is balancing. Gripping the toes into the mat. Next, inhale, we walk the blocks back to center. We can move them away, bending the knees here. Go ahead and wrap the arms around the back of the calves, tucking the chest and the belly all the way into the knees. Slowly extending, keeping chest hugged into the thighs. Pressing the knees away if you can continue to hug with the exhalation. Notice where the weight is centered in your feet. Can you feel all 4 corners of the foot grounded into the mat? Letting go of judgment, competition, or expectation here. We honor our bodies. We are where we're supposed to be. Good. And allowing the arms to hang heavy. Bending the knees. Inhale, we lift our arms all the way up, extended mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center. Taking a breath here. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands to heart center, exhale. Good. Stepping to the top of our mats. Inhaling one more time all the way up. Exhale, swan dive forward, staying here, planting the fingers, stepping back with the right leg. High lunge, planting the hands, curling the left knee all the way off the chest, rounding through the shoulder blades, tucking, tucking, tucking. And go ahead and extend the left leg, pressing into the right heel. Plant the left foot, coming into a plank on the inhale. Good. Lowering the knees, and then an 8-pointed contact, bringing our chest and our chin down to the mat. So we've got the tops of our feet touching, lifting the hips, gentle arch of the lower back, bringing the elbows into the side, checking with the form. Big breath in. Exhale, we press up into kneeling plank. Good. Curling the toes, down dog. Great. Slowly pedaling it out, rinsing out what we've just done. We're going to do that vinyasa a few times. We're going to get comfortable with it, taking our time to start. As we warm into it and become comfortable, we'll speed it up. So going forward, walking our feet slowly into our hands once again. Purposefully and slowly, keeping our heads hanging heavy. Right. On the inhale, we swoop our arms up. Extended mountain. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a breath in between. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, forward fold, swan dive. Plant the hands. This time, bringing the left knee into our lunge. Planting the hands. Curling the right knee into the chest, pressing away into the shoulder blades. Press, press, press. And then go ahead and extend the right leg long, pressing into the left heel. Good. Lowering the right leg. Coming down in onto our knees, all fours, and then all 8. Flattening the back feet. Arching the lower back, chest and chin. Bringing the elbows all the way into our sides. Deep breath in and then press up. Kneeling plank. Down dog. Well done. Go ahead, pedal that out. And then we walk our feet forward. Toes, heels, toes, heels. Taking our time. Opening up the back body. Good. Inhale, we swoop our arms all the way up. Extended mountain, arching the lower back, opening the abdomen. Exhale, hands to heart center. Deep breath in. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Pressure is in the toes, planting the hands, lifting the right leg, stepping back lunge. Curling the left knee into the chest, and try to tuck the chin into the knee. Pressing into the shoulders. Oh, go ahead, extend the left leg long. Pressing into the right heel. And exhale, bring the left foot down. Good. Pedal it out. Down onto our knees. 8 points. Flatten the feet. Arch the lower back, chest and chin. Elbows are tucked in. Taking a couple breaths here. Big breaths in. Exhale, come up into our kneeling plank. Curling the toes, down dog. Another chance to pedal it out. Pressing the armpits away, melting the chest towards the earth, and allowing the head to hang heavy. We slowly bring the toes and the heels towards the hands, opening up the back of the legs. Good. Meeting here in forward fold. Inhale, we swoop our arms up. Extended mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center. Deep breath in between. Sweeping our arms up. Swan dive forward. Planting the hands, left foot steps back. Lunge. Plant the fingers and the palms, bringing the right knee into the chest. Rounding up, trying to bring the knee all the way to the forehead. Hold, hold, hold. And extend. Oh, pressing the left heel towards the mat. And lower the right foot. Come all the way down to all fours. Arching the lower back. You got it. 8 points. Flattening the feet, tucking the elbows in, hands are under the shoulders. Big breath in. Pressing up into our kneeling plank or full plank. And down dog, curling the toes. Exhale. Pedal it out. Shift the weight. Exaggerate the pedals this time, maybe shifting the hips even. Back to center. Go ahead and walk the feet in. Toes, heels, pressing the legs back. Inhaling, sweeping our arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. We'll do one more on each side. Inhale, we sweep our arms up. Exhale, swan diving forward. Planting the hands, right leg comes back. And then we curl our left knee into the chest. Trying to get the forehead to touch the knee. Curling up, pressing the shoulder blades away. And extend the leg long. Yes. Pressing the right heel in towards the mat, keeping the left leg extended. And go ahead and exhale, lowering the left leg. Pedal it out. Coming into all fours. Floating our way through into our 8-pointed contact, arch in the lower back. Deep breaths. Next exhale, we press up. Curling the toes. Down dog. Great. Walking the feet all the way back to our heads. Good, meeting here. Inhale, we float our arms up. Extended mountain. Exhale, hands to heart. Deep breath in between. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward, forward fold, planting the hands, left leg steps back into our lunge. Good. Plant the hands, tuck the right knee all the way up, pressing away, rounding into a high plank. And go ahead and extend the right leg long, pressing the left heel towards the mat. And we lower the right leg down. Good. Last time, lowering the knees, flattening the feet, all the way into our 8-pointed contact, arching the lower back, deep breaths, curling the elbows into our chest. deep breath in. And we press up. Good. Curling the toes. Down dog. Well done. Walking the feet all the way back into the hands. Toes, heels, slowly with purpose. Connecting with the sensations in the back of the body. Good. Inhale all the way up. Arching the lower back, holding here. Gazing up if possible, if comfortable. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale all the way up. Grabbing onto the left wrist. Reaching and coming into a side bend. Opening up again the left side body, keeping the pelvis pressing forward. Creating space in both sides. We're not compressing the right side of the body. Inhale all the way up. Reaching for the right elbow over to the left side. Again, pressing the hips forward. Elongating the spine. Maintaining a neutral neck. You can still move it. And inhale all the way up. Arching. Cactusing the arms, coming into a chair here. Checking in with the toes. Can we see them? Good. Inhale. Let's go ahead and round forward on the lower back. Inhale, open. Exhale, round, crossing the opposite arm over first. Continue here. Round forward, connecting the breath to our movement. Gazing up as possible. Two more. Last one. Inhale, we sweep our arms up. Exhale, come all the way down into Melasma Squat, walking our feet to the edges of the mat. We'll just take a moment here to settle into our squat, pressing the elbows into the inner thighs to elongate the spine. Good. Flat feet. Passive squat if you'd rather bring a block underneath. Finding stillness here, bringing our left hand to the mat. On the inhale, we open our right arm up. Exhale, we lower the right arm. Inhale, lift the left. Continue this motion. Exhaling, we lower. Inhale, we lift the opposite arm. Adding depth to the lower back each time. Drawing the shoulder blade back away and down. Noticing what's happening through the spine and to the breath. And we maintain a calm, steady rhythm of breath as we move. One more on each side. Good. Rounding all the way forward fold. Bending the knees if you like, maybe a little wiggle. Good. And we're going to step back into a lunge once again with the right foot. Easy peasy. Very good. Good. Bringing our hands up onto the thigh. We're going to rock forward and back. Just slightly. Coming up on the toes. Stretching the front of the right foot. Two more. Go ahead and lower the right knee all the way to the mat. Right. Once again, finding our blocks or the hands all the way onto the mat. You may not need them. Pressing our palms into the mat or the blocks, and we're going to flex the foot and lift it off the ground. Working the hamstring of the right leg. Neutral spine. Holding here, lifting the chest through the arms. Deep breaths. Check in with the left hip. What's it saying? Try to lift the right foot a little bit closer to the glute. And release. Yay. Now bringing the left leg straight, right leg comes up. We're going to shift forward and back again. This time starting to lift the left toes off the mat. Straightening the left leg. Maybe curling the head towards the knee. Drawing the toes up, flexing the left foot. And then we'll hold here, hinging at the hips. Again, trying to keep the spine elongated. Coming back into the lunge, planting the left foot. Bringing the hands down if they weren't already, fists for wrists or planted. Once again, we're going to bring that left knee into our chest. So finding whatever is most comfortable, bringing the left knee into the chest, lifting it off the ground, rounding through once again into our high plank. Staying here in our single leg plank. We're going to lower the left knee down and up, down and up. Curling into it, pressing away from the earth. Engaging the core and the front body. 3 more. Hold here, elongate, stretching the left leg long, pressing into the right heel, single leg down dog. One more breath. And then we lower the left foot down. Yay for that. Walk the feet all the way back into the hands. Toes, heels, toes, heels. Find the blocks as needed. Good. Once we're all in forward fold, we sweep our arms up, extended mountain. Exhale, hands to heart. Deep breath into it. Inhale all the way up. Swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway flat back. Exhale, forward, forward. Planting the hands. This time we step back with the left foot. High lunge. Bringing our hands either onto the thigh or into a power lunge. And again, we're rocking forward and back on the left foot. Lighting up the quadricep while stretching out the front of the left foot. Lowering the left knee down to the mat. Yes. Cushion it as needed. Bring the hands down. Flexing the left foot. Knee two. And let's bring the left heel towards the glute. Elongating the spine. Hold here. Once again, checking in with the spine, flat back. Draw the heel a little bit closer to the glute. What's happening in the right hip? Good. Go ahead and lower the left foot, and then we'll start to straighten the right leg, lifting into our high lunge. Starting to peel the right toes off the mat. Starting with straightening the leg. Hinging at the hip. And then when you're ready, go ahead and peel the toes off. And then we'll hold here, hinging at the hip, letting the head hang heavy, keeping the spine as elongated as possible, finding a height for the blocks as needed. Hips are forward facing. Now we'll float back into our lunge, planting the toes of the right foot. Bringing our hands back down. Once again, we're bringing the right knee into our chest, pressing the earth away. And then go ahead and lower and lift. Lower and lift. Engaging the core, drawing the knee into the chest. 2 more. Round, pressing the earth away, extend the right leg long and the left heel towards the mat. Lowering the right foot to the mat. Go ahead and shift the weight, pedal it out. Taking an extra couple of breaths here. Checking in with the back body. And we're going to float through another vinyasa. So inhale, coming to plank. Exhale, we lower into chaturanga. All the way down, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, all the way down. Inhale, curl the toes. Plank, down dog. Pedal it out. Again, inhale, floating to plank. Wrapping the elbows forward into the chest. chaturanga, upward facing dog or cobra. So we come down, curling the toes, kneeling plank or full plank. Exhale, down dog. Taking a breath in between, we'll do 3 more. Inhale, floating to plank. All the way, chaturanga, upward facing or cobra. Floating down, you know the drill, curl the toes. Inhale, plank, down dog. Take a breath in between. Inhale, we float into plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing or cobra. Inhale. Gentle on the lower back, keeping the elbows tucked in. And we come back up. Plank, down dog. Good. One breath in between. We reset. And inhale, plank. Elbows in, chaturanga. Upward facing or cobra. Well done. Roll down. Inhale, plank. Down. Good. Resetting here. Letting the head hang heavy. Go ahead and lift the left hand off the mat. Give it a little shake. Your wrist is probably starting to talk to you. Reach around the right ankle, heel, shin, what have you. Looking under the right armpit. Studying the rhythm of breath. Two more breaths. Noticing the back body, what's happening in the right side of the leg. Good, bringing the left hand back down to the earth. The right hand this time, give it a little shake. And reach around to the left knee, shin, ankle. Gentle rotation and an opportunity to see what's happening in the left side of the legs. And looking up under the left armpit. Building some flexibility and stability. Two more breaths. Good. Bringing the right hand back down to the mat, and let's come down all the way onto our knees. Child's pose, flattening the back feet, walking the hands long. Maybe shifting, maybe lowering the forehead. Finding stillness if that's what you prefer at this point. We will come back to child's pose in a few minutes, but let's inhale our way back into all fours. Moving my blocks away, we'll come all the way down into prone pose. So lowering ourselves down gently. Good. Once again, extending the left arm long this time. Keeping the right hand under the shoulder, bringing the right foot off the mat, and then go ahead and bring the right leg behind us towards the left hand. The head turns towards the right as comfortable. You're welcome to keep the foot flat or to lift it over the hip. Play around, see what feels best. Listening to the left shoulder and the right hip. Noticing if there's any pattern of tension we may be holding between the left shoulder and right hip. We wiggle around. We'll find stillness if that's what you prefer. Breathing into the lower back. And go ahead and roll back onto our belly. Deep breaths in between. Bringing the left hand under the shoulder, the right arm goes long. Good, lifting the left foot, flexing. And then go ahead and press the left leg around the back. Looking over to the left, allowing your head to shift to the side. Checking in with the right shoulder. And again, the left hip, maybe along the lower back. Gentle rotation, breathing through the spine. Deep breath in. And then exhale, roll back onto our stomach and our chest. Inhale, reaching the arms long. A little shift of the hips. Option here to come into an upward fold, bringing both heels off the mat, reaching off, peeling the chest off the mat, reaching for the heels or the ankles, not working the lower back and spine to get there. This may be sufficient for you, but if you'd like, go ahead and lift the thighs off the mat. Goal is to keep the knees in line with the hips as possible. Not overextending the elbows. There we go. Engaging the glutes, gentle spine bend. Can we maintain a steady rhythm of breath? Lowering down when you're ready, holding as long as you like, finding our hands underneath our forehead. When you get there, there's no rush. And go ahead and roll the forehead left to right. Bringing some clarity to our mind's eye while stimulating the vagus nerve that runs all the way down into the emotion center. One more breath here. Go ahead and wiggle the ankles around. Wiggle the wrists around. Proprioception. We're going to bring our elbows and our hands back under our chests. Curling the toes, we press back into child's pose. One last time, tucking the knees underneath us. Finding a block if you'd like to roll your forehead on it, or bringing the forehead all the way to the mat. Any final movements here, shifting left to right if you'd like. Drawing awareness to our mind's eye. Rounding out the spine. And checking in once again with all the sensations and the energy running through our bodies. Doing a body scan from head to toe, getting a sense of the mood at this point, how it may have changed for the beginning of our practice. Checking in with the breath. Are we breathing more freely, bigger, with less intensity or less tension behind it? Can we expand our ribs laterally and fill the container of our rib cage. Taking a moment to reflect on any intention that we may have set at the beginning of our practice. Reaching our hands all the way back, grabbing onto the heels, bringing our foreheads down to the mat. On the exhale, we press up, rounding our spine, pressing, shifting our weight onto the crown of the head. Breathing into the upper back and through the lower back, all the way wrapping it around through the tailbone. Breathing the spine long. Curling the chin to the chest. One more breath. And we float our butts back to our heels, coming all the way up to an erect spine, stacking the vertebrae one at a time. Shoulders rounding and rolling. And we lift our heads, bringing our hands to heart center. With smiles on our faces, we give thanks for the opportunity to practice. For something somebody may have done or said for us this week, made us feel supported, loved, and part of a community. We fill our hearts and minds with gratitude. To light the way for the days ahead. Thank you all for joining. Namaste.